Planting lots of fruit trees and tea flowers is probably the most helpful thing any player can do for themselves in terms of progression. Not only is this something you can start doing very early on, since the only unlock you need to do it is the shovel, but fruit trees and tea flowers will also regrow a new harvest every 6 to 10 days without any input or further care. The products they produce are also incredibly useful at all stages of progression, from early game to late game. If you want to grow fruit and tea flowers in a way that's easy to work with, I strongly suggest that you make an orchard with no empty space on the inside. An orchard with no empty tiles on the inside is not only the most space efficient, but also the most convenient to harvest. It's a lot easier to harvest than orchards with rows of tiles left empty for the player to walk through, and this is because of how the game currently works. To harvest a fruit tree, there are two interactions you must perform. The first interaction is harvest. The second interaction is collect. The collect interaction works great. For those of you who don't know this, it can even be activated continuously if you hold down right click. However, with the harvest interaction, we have a problem. As of this recording, which is the 2nd of September 2023, the harvest interaction cannot be activated continuously, and it also cannot be activated from the same click as the collect interaction. The effect of this is that when you click to harvest a tree, very often that click will be used to collect fruit on the ground from an adjacent tree you already harvested. This means you have to click way more than you otherwise would to harvest things. For those of you who already have an orchard, you know that the orchard doesn't have to get very big before this becomes super annoying. Fortunately, there is a way to work around this, and that way is to avoid having empty tiles on the inside. Items in Dinkum can only sit on empty tiles. When you harvest a tree, if there are no empty tiles right next to the tree, the fruit will fly off to the nearest empty tile. So if your orchard has no empty tiles on the inside, all the fruit will fly off to the edge and there will be no fruit on the floor to mess with your harvesting. This way you only need to click once to harvest each tree, and then at the end run a circle around the edge while holding down right click to collect everything. What does the fence do? It's simple actually. The fences occupy the tile, so this just makes it so that the same thing happens to the tree on the edge of the orchard. It's not to protect the orchard from animals or anything like that. As of this recording, animals only eat actual crops planted on farmland. They don't target other plants. Now, coconut trees are a little special, and I recommend dealing with them differently. The trunk of coconut trees have larger hitboxes than other trees, and they are large enough to the point where it's sometimes not even possible to walk between adjacent trees. This means if you plant more than 2 rows of coconut trees back to back, it's gonna be really hard to harvest the rows in the middle, if you can do it at all. You have to do double rows with breaks in the middle, but if you leave the tiles empty, you have to deal with the clicking problem. Again, I solved this problem with fences. I initially put fences on level ground and walked on the top of the fences to harvest. This pushes the fruit to the edges like I wanted, but I found myself constantly falling off the fence, so I dropped the fences 1 tile down and got this, which I'm pretty happy with.